Welcome back, Eric, to the video. Today we are talking about CJ Stroud's really hot start to the 2023 NFL season. And Stroud was someone that I kind of talked about that I thought would be good, but I thought it would take him some time to really adjust and be good. But he is literally off to a historical start for his NFL career, and he's playing some very high-level football with what he has to work with. So first off, just looking at his stats as of right now, he has 906 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. I'll have some tweets up on the screen. I mean, the dude has like the most either completions without an interception or whatever for a rookie, the most passing yards through a few games and whatever. Like he's really setting the records. And honestly, he's doing it with like 4 of his offensive linemen out or hurt or something, which is just really crazy if you think about it, because in the preseason, he was getting pressured, he was getting hit, he looked very uncomfortable. It was kind of like, yeah, this can take some time to adjust. But now, I mean, he's playing really good football. And after week 1, which was that Ravens game, it was kind of like you lose 16 points to a pretty good Ravens team. Not really too much to complain about. I remember I said that I was really happy he didn't turn the ball over because it's a very good Ravens defense. So it did show how careful he was with the football. And then, after that, it's like, the Colts, they lose that, but still 2 touchdowns and interceptions. People kind of said he stat padded at the end. Honestly, I don't really believe you can stat pad down 11 points. Like, that's not like it's a blowout. At the end of the game, whenever he was going on the field, they're in more of like a soft zone. They weren't in like prevent defense. So like he was still playing against a defense. They weren't just like letting them catch passes or anything. So yeah, it wasn't as like real as like a maybe like full game situation at the end there when he was completing passes, but he still got the job done, and I'm not going to hate on a player for doing the right thing. So still, you lose by 11, but he looks good. And then Jacksonville, which was just yesterday, 37-17 win. 280 passing yards, 2 touchdowns to no interceptions. And for me, this was a game where I really want to see Stroud play well, because the Texans actually have a really good record against Jacksonville in Jacksonville. I believe they've won their last, I think before that game, they were like 9-1, I think, in their last 10 against Jacksonville in Jacksonville. And then I guess now they're, 10-1. But that was like, I want to see this kind of continue to go because they have a good history with it. So keep that streak going. Let's see what Stroud does. And he looked really, really good. We're going to go to actually his passing chart for this game. And as you can see, I mean, I'm not sure what would stand out to you guys, but to me, it's just his ability to kind of distribute the ball all over the place. I guess maybe less on the left side of the field, but I mean, as far as yardage goes, it looks like he's just really careful with the ball. He's taking what's open, and that's honestly really impressive for a rookie, because when a rookie's pressured, or maybe if they're not even pressured, they feel the need to force the ball down the field or force passes that might not be open. But Stroud's actually been really, really good about that. And I don't want to make it seem like he's throwing to like nobodies, because he does have pretty good receivers, but like, he's doing the right thing. He's using them to his advantage. So I think he's playing really good. I don't want it to become like an excuse of like, well, he has better weapons than like Richardson does or like Bryce Young does or anything like that, because they're not like, top of the league by any means. And one thing I do want to say is that for me, I told kind of Texans fans for at least what I want to see from them this year, because Super Bowl's not really on the table. I think the absolute ceiling would be sneaking into the playoffs, which I don't think is on the table this year. But I said that kind of your Super Bowl should be seeing what you have in CJ Stroud and seeing the players that you have picked up and that you have drafted to kind of help turn this team around, to see them develop over the course of this year. Like Will Anderson, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley Jr., Nico Collins, all that kind of stuff. Like, you want to see them progress. And it's happening a lot earlier than I thought with CJ Stroud. In my opinion, he's very ahead of schedule. I honestly didn't think he would start to kind of show some flashes until more like week 8, week 9. I thought it'd be a kind of rough start for him. Instead, I mean, as you guys can see, he's very, very careful with the football, and he's making the right reads. It's really cool to see because, again, he has already kind of formed a chemistry with Tank Dell, who's another rookie on the team. And he had that very long touchdown, which I believe is the farthest blue dot right there. Those do mark the touchdowns. So, I mean, I don't know. Let me know below like what you guys think of CJ Stroud start this year. If you're a Texans fan, or if you're not a Texans fan, maybe you thought he would be bad, maybe whatever it is, let me know, because Stroud proved me wrong as far as my timetable for him to actually start looking good. I thought it'd take a while, and by week 3, you're beating Jacksonville by whatever it was, 20 points or whatever, and you're playing really, really good football. So I am very happy for CJ Stroud. I think it's really cool. And honestly, if we want to go back to ESPN real quick, going back to ESPN, going to the Houston Texans schedule. Now, again, they do have some pretty tough opponents. Pittsburgh should be very tough with that defense. I think it will be a huge test for CJ Stroud. But again, the Ravens defense is really good too, and he did not turn the ball over. It's got to happen at some point. It happens to every quarterback. But again, I do want to see how long he can stay this composed for, because really it's an incredibly impressive start to be that calm and composed and collected for a rookie, especially with 4 of your starting offensive linemen out. That's just really, really crazy to me. We have the Steelers coming up. The Falcons and the Saints, honestly, in my opinion, are 2 very winnable games for the Texans, especially considering Derek Carr might be out in that Saints game. You get Jameis Winston in, and Jameis Winston loves to throw that ball whether it's open or not, so you can definitely force some turnovers there. But yeah, so I mean, Carolina, you can beat Carolina, you can beat Tampa Bay. Cincinnati, I know the Bengals are playing bad, but I don't think the Texans are quite there yet. But again, Arizona, you can win that. Jacksonville, you could win that again. Denver, you can win that. As good as that defense is, they just got 70 points hung on them by the Miami Dolphins. So I know the Dolphins' offense is a lot different than the Texans' offense, but still, it's a very winnable game. The Jets will probably be pretty tough, very good defense, and their offense, again, not great, but just depends. Titans divisional game, that'll be interesting. Haven't seen them play yet. I would say it's a winnable game, though, for the Texans. The Browns, I think, is winnable. It's a really good defense. So, again, Stroud's going to be tested. Like, look at the schedule. You know, like the Steelers, like the Browns, like the Jets, and like the Broncos. He's going to face some good defenses this year. I want to see him keep it up. He's playing really, really good. And honestly, it's really impressive to start his career. And then also, real quick, I want to go back to week 2 for CJ Stroud's game against the Colts. We had 384 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And again, it's very similar to the one we just looked at, with him really just taking what's open, especially underneath. He's not forcing the ball down the field unless he really has to. And if he has to, it's usually open because he's, again, been very careful with the football. So, again, I'll let you guys kind of interpret that for yourself. But for me, it just shows how careful he is with the ball. He checks it down if he has to, and he takes what's open. And again, it's really impressive for a rookie. There's a reason rookies struggle so much sometimes, especially at quarterback, is because they don't always do that. And Stroud, he looks like the real deal. So if I'm a Texans fan, I am very excited right now. 900 yards within 3 weeks of football, no interceptions, and you're 1-2. Like I said, in my opinion, they don't make the playoffs because the AFC is so competitive. But crazier things have probably happened in football. So I would love to see it. I don't think the team is there, but Stroud will definitely lead the Texans to the playoffs at some point in his career, because this is quite the start. And it's going to be very exciting to see him build on this. But yeah, that's going to do for the video, guys. Let me know down below what you guys think of CJ Stroud's start to the NFL season and the Texans, or your favorite team start to the season. As a Panthers fan, I'm not thrilled. I'll probably do a Bryce Young video one of these times. But yeah, I had to get this out. Stroud is just playing so good, and I'm very impressed. I really am. So that's going to do for the video. Thanks for watching. I do really appreciate it. I do Madden and NFL videos. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Madden and NFL content. NFL videos like this. We do tier list videos, week picks every week. We do power rankings every week. And then Madden, we do No Money Spent series, gameplays, pack openings, all that kind of stuff. I also just launched channel membership, so if you're interested in joining and becoming a member, go to my channel page, and next to subscribe, it will say join. Click it and choose the plan that best fits you. We have some videos that will be exclusively just for members, and I'll decide like what that is whenever the time comes. But again, tons of perks there. So thank you guys for watching. I do really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.